The city lights twinkled through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the executive conference room at Meridian Corporation as 26-year-old Ashley Rivera carefully cleaned the aftermath of what had clearly been an intense board meeting. Her turquoise cleaning uniform and practical white apron were spotless despite the long shift, and her blonde hair was secured in a neat ponytail that had somehow survived 8 hours of demanding work. Ashley had been working as part of the overnight cleaning crew for nearly a year, taking the position to support her 2 younger siblings while their mother recovered from a serious illness. The job required her to work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., cleaning the offices of one of the city's most prestigious corporate buildings, but the steady paycheck and health insurance benefits made the sacrifice worthwhile. The 38th floor boardroom was always her most challenging assignment. After executive meetings, the room typically required extensive attention, removing coffee rings from the mahogany table, organizing scattered documents, and restoring the space to the pristine condition expected by the company's leadership team. Tonight was no exception, with evidence of a particularly lengthy session visible in the overturned chairs and empty presentation materials scattered across the room. As Ashley worked methodically to restore order, she was unaware that 41-year-old Marcus Chen was observing her from the hallway outside the conference room. Marcus had returned to the office after dinner to prepare for an early morning meeting, but found himself pausing to watch the dedicated way Ashley approached her work. Marcus was the Chief Executive Officer of Meridian Corporation, a position he had earned through 15 years of building the company from a small startup into a major player in technology consulting. His navy blue suit and confident demeanor reflected his success, but tonight he found himself intrigued by the quiet professionalism of someone working diligently while the rest of the building slept. "Good evening," Marcus said softly, stepping into the doorway so as not to startle Ashley. "I hope I am not interrupting your work. I needed to come back to prepare for tomorrow's early meetings." Ashley looked up with polite surprise, immediately recognizing that this well-dressed man was clearly someone important within the company. "Good evening, sir. Please do not worry about interrupting. I can work around you, or step out if you need privacy in here." "That is very considerate, but please continue with what you are doing," Marcus replied, noting Ashley's professional demeanor and respectful manner. "I am Marcus, by the way. I do not think we have met before." "I am Ashley," she responded with a warm smile. "I work with the overnight cleaning team. You are probably not here during our usual hours, which is why we have not crossed paths." Marcus nodded, realizing that as CEO, his schedule rarely overlapped with the night shift employees who kept the building functioning. "Have you been working here long?" "Almost a year now," Ashley replied as she continued organizing the conference materials. "It is a good job with fair pay and benefits. The hours work well for my family situation, even though the work can be physically demanding." "What do you think of the company so far?" Marcus asked, genuinely curious about the perspective of someone who saw the organization from a completely different vantage point. Ashley considered the question thoughtfully while wiping down the conference table. "From what I can observe, it seems like a well-run organization. The employees I encounter seem dedicated to their work, and the facilities are maintained to high standards. Management appears to invest in creating a professional environment." Marcus was impressed by Ashley's thoughtful analysis. "That is an interesting perspective. Do you have thoughts about what makes a workplace effective?" As Ashley continued her cleaning work, she shared observations about teamwork, communication, and employee morale based on what she had witnessed during her year of working in various corporate offices throughout the building. "You seem to have a good understanding of organizational dynamics," Marcus observed. "Do you have a background in business?" Ashley's expression grew slightly wistful. "I was actually studying business management at the community college before I had to take time off to help my family. My mother has been dealing with some serious health issues, and someone needed to work full-time to keep up with medical expenses and support my younger siblings." Marcus felt a pang of respect for Ashley's sacrifice and family loyalty. "That must be incredibly challenging. Do you hope to return to your studies eventually?" "Someday," Ashley replied with quiet determination. "Right now my family needs the stability of steady income and health insurance. But I hope that when things improve, I can finish my degree and maybe work in business operations or human resources." Without conscious thought, Marcus found himself rolling up his sleeves and picking up a cloth from Ashley's cleaning cart. "This looks like a big job for one person. Would you mind if I helped?" Ashley stared at him with surprise and concern. "Sir, you really do not need to do that. I am sure you have much more important things to handle than cleaning conference rooms." "Sometimes the most important thing we can do is help where help is needed," Marcus replied, beginning to wipe down the whiteboard that still showed traces of the day's presentations. "Besides, I spend a lot of time in meetings in this room. It is probably good for me to understand what it takes to maintain it." For the next hour, Marcus and Ashley worked together to restore the boardroom to perfect condition. Their conversation continued naturally, covering topics from Ashley's insights about effective leadership to Marcus's observations about building successful teams and maintaining company culture. "You are surprisingly good at this," Ashley commented as Marcus efficiently stacked and organized the remaining presentation materials. "Have you done cleaning work before?" Marcus smiled, remembering his college years when he had worked multiple jobs to pay for school. "I have experience with various types of work. I think it is valuable to understand what different roles actually involve." As they completed their work, Ashley turned to Marcus with sincere gratitude. "Thank you so much for helping me tonight. You did not have to do that, and it made the work much more manageable. It is refreshing to meet someone who is willing to contribute like that." "Thank you for sharing your insights about the business," Marcus replied earnestly. "You clearly have a lot of wisdom about what makes organizations successful. Any company would be fortunate to have someone with your perspective and work ethic." The next morning, Marcus found himself reflecting on his conversation with Ashley as he reviewed the agenda for his leadership team meeting. Her observations about employee engagement and organizational culture had highlighted some areas where Meridian Corporation could improve its internal operations. During the meeting, Marcus surprised his executives by proposing a new employee development program that would provide educational assistance and career advancement opportunities for all staff members, regardless of their current position within the company. "What inspired this initiative?" asked the Vice President of Human Resources. Marcus thought about Ashley's dedication to her family and her deferred educational goals. "I have been thinking about how we can better support the career aspirations of all our employees, including those who may not currently be in traditional professional tracks but have demonstrated exceptional character and potential." 3 weeks later, Marcus made a decision that reflected his growing understanding of authentic leadership. He created a new position, Manager of Employee Development and Internal Operations, specifically designed to identify and nurture talent throughout the organization. When Marcus offered the position to Ashley, along with full educational support to complete her degree and flexible scheduling to accommodate her family responsibilities, her reaction reminded him why her character had impressed him so deeply. "I do not understand," Ashley said, looking at the offer letter with bewilderment. "Why would you create such an important role for someone who works in cleaning services? I do not have management experience or even a completed degree." Marcus looked at her with the same respect he had felt that night in the boardroom. "Ashley, that evening you demonstrated something that cannot be taught in business school. You showed me that real leadership is about approaching every responsibility with excellence, making sacrifices for others without complaint, and maintaining professionalism and insight regardless of circumstances." He paused, knowing it was time to reveal his complete identity. "I should tell you that I was not entirely forthcoming about my role here. I am Marcus Chen, the Chief Executive Officer of Meridian Corporation." Ashley's eyes widened with shock and immediate embarrassment. "You are the CEO? I cannot believe I was so informal with you. And you helped me clean the conference room. You treated me exactly as you should treat anyone willing to work alongside you," Marcus replied warmly. "That showed me everything I needed to know about your leadership potential and your character." 8 months later, as Ashley presented her first comprehensive report on employee satisfaction and internal advancement programs to the board of directors, Marcus often thought about that late evening when a chance encounter had fundamentally changed his understanding of leadership. Ashley had taught him that the most valuable insights about organizational success often come from people who understand the business from perspectives that executives might never consider. She had shown him that true leadership is not about maintaining hierarchical distance, but about being willing to contribute wherever genuine help is needed. And Marcus had discovered that sometimes the most qualified candidate for a leadership role is not the person with the most credentials, but the one who consistently demonstrates integrity, dedication, and the ability to see solutions that others might overlook.